people? What's going on? Tigal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Should I say this is an emergency stream, or is this already no longer an emergency? Everyone's got used to the fact that Gabriel Magalhães is now out for the rest of the season, making that how many players out for the rest of the season now? 3 players in total, with Gabriel Magalhães, Gabriel Jesus, and Kai Havertz all out for the season. Plus, in addition to that, the other injuries we have had this season are ridiculous. So many injuries we've had this season. I can't even get into it. But before we go any further, I'm going to bring the wonderful guests for you guys. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Viktor Gyökeres. We're going to be talking about Chelsea. Are they going to try to hijack one of our signings? At this point, I think Chelsea are not a better destination than Arsenal, so I don't think we have to worry too much about that. But before we go any further, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's bring the guests on. I got Nigerian Englishman in the building. How you doing, bro?
Oh yeah, now my people, it's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, today you go understand. I'm good in terms of life, but obviously not the best news in terms of the injury. But
bro, don't worry about it. Kevin De Bruyne and Trent are leaving the Premier League. Good day. How you doing? African Gunner? You doing well?
Yeah, man, doing really well. Yeah, I think share the sentiments. Obviously, doing well in life, but in terms of Arsenal, more injuries, cursed season. We'll go deeper into it. I'm excited to talk about it. I think bigger issues in play, to the fact that we probably wouldn't have had enough either way, injury or not injury. But hey, let's see what we can make out of this season in the last few weeks.
There you go. And then we got Dan Potts in the building. Dan, hope you're doing well. Just seeing you're live with the Lulu. You guys doing your thing?
Yeah, man. Big up. Thanks for having me, man. Big up to AG and big up to Cunha as well. Hope you're all doing well, my people. And yeah, I suppose with Trent leaving and KDB leaving, we can have a little bit of a smile. But it's all about what we do in the summer, man. But it's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Yeah, that guy's terrorized me too many times, man. On my wedding day, he slapped us with 2 goals. So I was like, yo. So I was like, won that. Honestly, annoying guy. But hey, what are we gonna do? Let's talk about Arsenal though. Forget about all the other stuff. And you're not lagging, by the way, Cunha. You're good. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, guys. The first thing is Gabriel Magalhães. He's out for the season. Numerous players out for the season. We spoke about it yesterday, Dan, on your channel. It kind of makes you feel like the season's cursed. Everything just keeps getting worse. Nothing seems to be getting better. The moment you think one thing's getting better in the attack, you get hit with defensive injuries. The midfield to start off the season in Mikel Moreno and Martin Odegaard. The defense with all the defending players. Imagine we started the season with like 6 left backs, and at one point we had 0. So we have had our defensive injuries already at some point, and then went to a point where we had no attacking players available with Kai Havertz, Saka, Jesus, and all these guys, even Martinelli out. And now just another blow to the heart just before we play Real Madrid in Gabriel Magalhães. How do you guys feel about that? I'm going to start with you, Dan. How you feeling, man? Because I didn't really get to speak to you about it. We were kind of just arguing yesterday.
Yeah, there's just a lot of ranting last night. Yeah, bro, Gabriel is devastating, if I'm honest with you, bro. This one for me has probably hit me as hard as the Saka one did, to be fair. I think he's legitimately that important in the side. I think he's phenomenal, probably been the player of the year. I think his complementary partnership with Saliba makes Saliba better. I don't think people speak about that enough. Not that Saliba's a bad defender without him, but certainly he's better as a partnership with him. And if I'm honest with you, bro, it's kind of deflating. And I kind of want to know where we go from here. I'm really interested to see what we do tomorrow in the back line. I'm really interested to see what that will look like against Real Madrid. And I pray that the other players come back from injury. But Gabriel is going to be a massive loss. Because it isn't just his ability on the ball, it's everything else that comes with Gabriel. I honestly believe he's one of our leaders. He would be the captain for me. I think he barks orders. I think he gets us in line. I think he starts to grab people by the scruff of the neck and get us through games. And I've been a big fan of him. I think he's Arteta's best signing. I think he's actually been Arteta's best signing by quite some way, if I'm honest. So I would honestly have so much more confidence if Gabriel was playing, not against Everton, because I'm not too fussed by it. It'd be lovely to win, but it's more about Real Madrid now. I'm devastated that he's going to miss it, man. Because I honestly believe that with the front line Real Madrid have got, I really wanted to see what Gabriel and Saliba could do against them. And now we're probably going to see somebody else other than Gabriel, which could be Kivior, or we'll talk about the replacements for him. And that's just not going to be the same, man. So, yeah, I'm really upset about it, man. Really, really devastated.
Yeah, everyone can kind of say the same sentiment, but I'll go to you, Cunha. What do you think? Is that our player of the season going down right there?
100% our player of the season going down. But you know what, Ego? This might sound funny coming from me, but I'm more optimistic now than ever before, bro. Because do you know why? The reason is because like what we've literally got nothing to lose in it. Like nobody in world football is expecting us to get anything out of this game. And you know what? Let's just go for it. Like we've literally got nothing else. We've got nothing else. Like all these injuries, it takes me back. Pops remember, takes me back to that when we went to the Bernabeu. I think with Giroud, Senderos, and Fleming as a left back or some crazy shit there. They all wrote us off then. I'm not saying it's the exact same circumstances, but I get certain feelings from that period as to now.
We had Thierry then, no Cunha. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course, we got Bukayo this time, innit? So you never know, man. You never know. He could do something special. Look, I'm not overly optimistic, but I'm like, just throw the kitchen sink at it. There's nothing else to lose. Like, which player wants to make a name for himself? Who knows? It might be the big night for Kiwior to say, yeah, you know what? I'm a professional football for a reason. I'm here to state my claim in it. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's when Yeri comes off the bench and has a masterclass. We don't know. So I think the worst thing we can do as fans is just like be like, oh, do you know what? It's all over. Depression, go into a negativity. Just go into those 2 games with nothing to lose. Close your eyes. Like best case scenario, we go out swinging. But I'm saying let's just go for it, man. I'm not scared of Madrid right now.
Well, when have you seen us go out swinging? And first of all, I love the confidence and I love the optimism, by the way, because when you're speaking right now as an Arsenal fan, I can see you're speaking out of passion and you're speaking out of love for the club. But that's not the realistic, I think, perspective from my side, at least. There's no way in hell that we are getting anything out of Real Madrid. Of course, Gabriel having a season.
No way in hell.
I mean, personally, for me, I think we were already going to struggle to defend and hold them back with so much attacking prowess, even with Gabriel. So now that the fact that he's out and he was our potentially player of the season, I completely hear Englishman in terms of like, yeah, this is an opportunity for a player to step up and make a name for himself. But we have to be honest, we haven't been playing well at all. Attacking wise, you know, Marino's been doing the job, but against Real Madrid, it's a completely different game. You know, we haven't been playing Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea or any of the top teams really to be saying like we're going into confidence against Madrid to even get 2 goals against them. I'm really fearful that, you know, Englishman, you're saying we have nothing to lose. It could go the complete opposite and we could get hammered because there's nothing to lose and because we just are not going to be able to cope. I hope it doesn't end up that way. But for me personally, I think even if we beat Madrid, we don't have enough to take it all the way to the final. And that's the problem with me with Arsenal.
Hey,
is
bro,
that you're
bro,
right.
bro,
We
bro.
could go
Bro,
and
one
beat
second.
Madrid,
Even Madrid fans
lose the next game. So for me,
even
African
Madrid
Guna,
fans, even Madrid fans have more hope for Arsenal. Like I seen these Madrid fans on Bleacher Report. If you guys haven't seen it, they were talking about Arsenal. They're like, Arsenal's a really good team. It's going to be a tough match.
Yes.
I think Arsenal could beat us at their ground, but we're going to beat them at our ground because we're Real Madrid. Where you, as an Arsenal fan, are saying, yeah, no chance. We're losing.
No,
Everything's
look,
over.
I hope we keep
African
it tight.
Guna, the one
go ahead.
The only comment I'm gonna really tackle you on because like we have different opinions, of course.
Yeah,
but the one that really got me is how can you fear anyone after Madrid?
Dude, we can beat any team.
Nah, bro. If we get past Madrid, no one's chancing me, bro. I'm not scared of nobody, bro. I'm not saying we will, but if we do, I don't know if fans on the same page. If we get past Madrid, why should we fear anyone, bro? Literally,
we shouldn't fear anyone. We can beat anyone, but we should also be respectful, and we should be allowing ourselves to understand our team and where we're short and where our weaknesses are. And our weaknesses is that we can't score, and we just lost our best player of the season.
No, but I'm saying if
let me finish. And now you're gonna trust Kiwior after you, as an Arsenal fan, have watched for 10 seasons. You've watched Mustafi, you've watched Kolasinac, you've watched Holding. You know we've lost many seasons based upon our backups not being good enough, right? So not only are we struggling to score and create, but now Kiwior is gonna come in and he might make a mistake against Mbappe or Vinicius. We're talking about like the elite ballers now.
African Gouda, I don't mind you being not optimistic about the Madrid game, but to go on and say even if we get past Madrid, you don't think we can get the job done. Now for me, that's crazy because like as players, If you reckon if our Arsenal players get through Madrid, they're not going to be on cloud nine thinking they can take on anyone. Like, what
all right, let me stop it for a second. Let me bring Dan in and let's kind of change the topic to solutions, because we all know Gabriel Magalhães is injured. I think he's my player of the season so far. Like, I don't know about you guys. I think Gabriel Magalhães has been the most consistent player from beginning to end so far this season out of every player I can look at. Now, don't get me wrong, Gabriel Magalhães has probably been the most integral player because he's been the most fit out of all those main guys. Saka's been injured, Odegaard's been injured, Declan Rice has been injured. Raya and him, I would say, are the two most important players. But now that he's out, probably Raya will take it from here. But hey, Dan, what do we do? What's the solution? Because I spoke to you the other day and I kind of was rambling about so many different solutions. But what is the main solution for you?
So for me, I don't want to see Kivior at left-sided centre-back. I don't think Kivior is anywhere near good enough. Against Real Madrid, I think we could get cooked. Exactly. If Partey plays right-back and Kivior plays left centre-back, I could think it could be 4 or 5-0 in the first leg.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I think it can't happen. I've heard today that Ben White and Timber are fit for Everton. Now, I don't want to see them play against Everton, but that means that they'll probably be fit to play against Real Madrid. So for me, I think the only way that we do this now is we go Timber, White, Saliba, Miles Lewis-Skelly. They're the back four.
Who's the centre-back?
For me, I would play Timber there because I don't like Ben White playing at centre-back. I thought he was quite poor there in the season that he played there. So I play Ben White at right-back. But a lot of people make the right sort of caveat to that to say, is he the best to come up against Vinny, or would Timber be better to come up against Vinny? Maybe Timber would be, but if I'm honest with you, Ben White as centre-back doesn't really fill me with amount of confidence. I'm not massively disappointed by either of those scenarios happening. I'd much prefer that than seeing Rock Partey there or Kivior there. I would rather Kieran Tierney play at left-sided centre-back than Kivior. I actually rate him much more than I do Kivior. So for me, yeah, that's where I'm at. Saliba as the left-sided centre-back, with Ben White or Timber as the right side, the other one at right back. And I think Lewis-Skelly has to play at left back. I know he got caught out against Fulham, but I think it'd be criminal to drop him in his performance and how good he's been in the last month or so to then go, actually, this is a bit too big for you. I think he's fearless and he's shown that he can play in those sort of big games. So that's what I would do, Igal.
Fair. Do you guys disagree with anything Dan said there? Because I feel like he kind of covered it all.
Right. For me, I totally agree in terms of the two scenarios. Like, they're both, Ben White and Timber, both really solid, good players that we can trust. So I don't mind whichever starts, but I definitely think Timber will start, considering the fact that he has been on consistent form and he's been playing. And it's just going to be a big game to put Ben White in, considering the fact that we're easing him back in because he's been having a niggle with his recovery. So we're playing it safe with him. I don't see us using him unless we really, really don't have a choice and Timber can't play.
All right, what's the predicted lineup for the Everton game then? Because I feel like we spoke a lot about Real Madrid, but we have a game that we need to play before then, and we need to respect all of our opponents. I don't think yesterday or on Tuesday when we were doing the video on your channel, Dan, that the boys were really respecting Everton at all. I felt like they were the way that they were speaking. They're almost speaking like put a Carabao Cup team up against Everton, and then let's go against Real Madrid. But I think that's wrong. I think we need to trial whatever team we're going to be putting up against Real Madrid, against Everton. And I'm not saying I'm saying it from the perspective of we need to figure out what works best. And maybe this game can be like a tune-up game. This game can be an opportunity for us to see what works, what doesn't work going into the game versus Real Madrid. And of course, we need to still win, because as much as you guys don't want to look at the league, Nottingham Forest are 4 points behind us. We could find ourselves in a situation where we're in third or fourth in a week's time if we lose a couple games. So I still want to make sure we win whatever games we have ahead of us. And the Everton game is the best opportunity for us to get some confidence going to a game versus Real Madrid.
You think Timber and White both have to play in the Everton game, though, Miguel? I'm worried about that, bro. I'm worried about how many minutes they play.
How about this? If we're gonna give, if Timber and Ben White are going to be playing versus Real Madrid, they need to at least play 45 minutes to 30 minutes versus Everton, in my opinion. They need to get
that's fair. I don't want them playing any more than that, though. Like, for me, like I really don't. I think if they're going to play at all, then they need to play a number of minutes, not a whole game or a whole 60 minutes.
Also, cohesion is important. How you play together as centre back, and because the majority of those guys played right back or left back for majority of the season. They've not really played as centre backs for too many games. When Timber did play at centre back, we dropped points to Aston Villa. So I want to see how Arteta manages this upcoming game versus Everton, because that's going to give me a better idea of who's going to start.
I don't think that back line is going to be what I've suggested for Everton. I think he's going to play Partey at right back.
Right back, 100%.
Yeah, and I think he'll play Saliba and Kivior, and then
the script.
I don't want to see Partey at right back because Partey is going to be in the midfield versus Real Madrid. What I want to see is
Arteta doesn't care about that.
What I want to see is if he puts in Kivior in this game,
he will.
So he can play one of the traditional right backs at right back and give Ben White 45 minutes, get Timber 45 minutes at right back.
Yeah, I think that would be the best option. Give them 45 minutes each. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of want to see at some point on Saturday the front three of Martinelli through the middle, Saka and Trossard. I want to see if Martinelli through the middle could be a potential option at any point.
Don't you think he would have already tried that by now, considering we had low risk games compared to like trying? You know what I mean? I want it by the way as well.
I get it, but I mean, this is I think a good game for him to try out that option. I've always think because for me, I hate Martinelli on the wings. I'm not gonna lie. He had a good game the other night. Don't get it twisted. He had a very good
game in a while,
definitely. But he always plays with his head down. Like it's just so frustrating.
All right, how about this?
He also doesn't have anyone to help
start also.
You what?
Sorry,
does Saka start?
No, definitely not. Wanyeri starts that game.
Wanyeri starts. Yeah, fair enough.
Because Wanyeri doesn't start versus Real Madrid. That's for fact.
He doesn't. So Wanyeri, Trossard, and Martinelli for me to start.
But you know,
I just think we need to see how pace works through the middle.
I seen a clip of you talking about. I seen a clip of you talking about Eason not getting the full 90 minutes. Do you think it's because of his injuries?
No, man. He had to play Saka.
Or
maybe it's just Saka coming back, and he was the obvious choice to come on. I actually personally would play Ethan against Real Madrid personally, but that's just my preference. He won't.
Over Saka?
No. I would start Ethan, Saka, and Martinelli. So I'd have them as the front three, and then I'd have Ødegaard. We've got to go for this, man. Marino, look, 5 and 8, fair play to him, but do we really want him lining up against Real Madrid? Like, I don't particularly. I'd rather us just go for it with a little bit of pace and try and get at Real Madrid.
And then throw Marino on last 20 minutes.
Throw Marino on. How do you take Martinelli out when
is Marino not the best finisher at the club?
Yeah, at this point, yes.
There's about 4 questions there. I would start Martinelli, African Gunner. I didn't say drop him.
Yeah,
Martinelli starts for me. So Martinelli 100% starts. Saka 100% starts against Madrid, and then I would go with Ethan. And I would interchange it a bit as a front three. Ødegaard is definitely droppable, by the way, because that guy is stinking the place out. But
everything is
but you can't drop the captain.
But I don't think he will be dropped. So that's where I'm at. I would play Ethan through the middle, and then I'd interchange him with Martinelli to go through the middle, stuff like that. But we know what the team's going to be. It's going to be Marino through the middle. It's going to be, I think Saka will start on the right, and I think Martinelli left. Ødegaard will be in the 10. It'll be Partey and Rice. And then the back line, I really don't know.
Haram football, Dan. That's all it sounds like.
But we have to prepare. We have to prepare for haram football. That's what it's going to be. But I do think this game coming up, Jorginho is going to start in midfield if Partey plays right back. And if Partey doesn't play right back, then I would still start Jorginho versus Everton. Give somebody in the midfield rest going into this game versus Real Madrid.
If Timber starts and I still see him on the pitch after 60 minutes, I'm going to lose my head. That guy, how he has played that much football after an ACL is absolutely inhumane.
Amazing.
It's ridiculous how good he's been, man. Again, I would put him down as the second best Mikel Arteta signing.
Timber already.
Unbelievable player.
By the way, Arteta
I'm not ready to answer that yet.
Arteta has admitted that Arsenal pair, Timber and Ben White, are confirmed. Have not yet been confirmed available for Goodison Park away. So they've not yet been confirmed, but they should be like getting closer to being available.
I think they'll be.
They both will be in the team. They both will be in the team.
Yeah.
I think what Timber's doing is ridiculous, man. There's only Gabriel for me. I think Timber's been a better signing than Ødegaard. I think Timber's been a better signing than White. I think Timber's been unbelievable.
I think Gabriel's given you 3 title contending seasons, and we're saying, wow.
I think Timber is a phenomenal footballer. Timber is ridiculous.
Gabriel?
No doubt, but it's a lot. You're giving him
value for money, Gabriel, bro.
Now he said Gabriel's his best. He said
No, Gabriel's the best.
Timber
Timber for
second
me is
above
after him.
Odegaard and Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Odegaard's like
the Declan
for
Rice
me,
one is debatable, but I'm not really.
No, but you know
I'm going to sit on that one for a little bit.
Dan.
I agree with you, Gabriel. I'm going to sit on the second one for a little bit. I'm not ready.
That's fine, man. You'll see. You'll all agree with me.
No, I think
You know
one of the best players this season for sure, but I wouldn't say he's Arteta's second best ever signing. I think that's
who is to you?
It's too early to say that because he's only played one season. For me, it has to be Odegaard, who's the captain, who's integral to the team 3 seasons. Even though he's playing so badly, you have to say either him or Saliba doesn't count for him, so it has to be Rice. Like there's nothing else. What else is he?
I think Rice and Timber are level for me. Because Rice was brilliant last year. This year, Rice has been very mismanaged, and Odegaard has been mismanaged for the best part of a couple of seasons, in my opinion. The season before, unbelievable, 15 goals. I was like, rah. But the last 2, it's been like meh.
Do you reckon it's been being mismanaged though? Do you think it's a mismanagement?
Nah,
yeah, I think he's mismanaged his midfield massively, Arteta. I don't think
mismanaged, but I also think he
Party's the
off-field issues, and it's not all about just on field. It's also like he became a father, and his life changed as well, and he had an injury.
So all right, let's talk about this. One second. I don't want to lose track. I don't want to lose track on something. Do you guys blame the manager for this? Because a lot of people online are blaming the manager for all these injuries.
I think he's had a massive part to play in it, yeah.
Really?
But I'll let someone else go.
No. Explain why you think he does.
So I think Mikel Arteta has had an unbelievable opportunity to drop some of these players and rest them and rotate them, and he's failed to do so. The other thing he's failed to do is trust in some of the backups that he signed. For example, Jacob Kiwior's hardly played any minutes. Reece Nelson hardly played any minutes last season. Fabi Vieira was not trusted. We've seen other players that have come into the mix that have played when they've been injured, i.e. Ben White, who's needed that surgery for God knows how long, and then he's been out for the majority of the season because he's continued to play him. There's been some injury-prone players. Tomiyasu, I'm not blaming Mikel Arteta. He's just made of glass. Jesus, I think his time's done. He's just made of glass. And to be honest, Thomas Partey's actually played the 4th most minutes in the 4th player is the most minutes at Arsenal, which is mad. But he's been another player who's been fairly injury-prone. When I look at the Havertz and the Saka situation and the Gabriel situation, I do blame him. Havertz was on his backside against Wolves going, please give me a rest. And we went and give him high-intensity training, whatever the hell it was at Dubai. And now his bloody hamstring's off his bone. Saka, come on, man. How can no one blame Arteta? Everybody in the footballing universe was telling us, rest this guy, you're going to kill him. Boom, down he goes. Season over. And then you got Gabriel, who, in my opinion, we've saw like a Tuesday night, Miguel. I actually was on your side with this one more. I thought Gabriel was a little bit more bad luck, if I'm honest, because he did get a full rest against the for Brazil. In the
played one game, got a yellow card.
Yeah, so he got suspended, so he went back. So I think that one's the only one. Go on.
Just to be devil's advocate, we rotate. People say not against that team. We rotate again. People say don't rotate in the cup. We rotate again. They say, oh, you threw away the cup. We rotate again. They're like, you can't rotate against bottom half teams. They're fighting relegation. You got to take it serious. And then when we play backups like Kiwior, guys say Kiwior's not good enough. Arteta should have known not to play him.
So I will say,
I feel like he's in a lose-lose situation.
What I will say in terms of Potts is what Potts said. I don't blame Arteta necessarily for the injuries, but what the biggest thing I blame him from, which Potts highlighted, is that he doesn't have faith in his squad, innit? Because literally, you give this player a contract, you sign that player, and then we don't see you use him when we're 3-0 up or 4-1 up, or it's a game that maybe this player could get a rest. So that's my pet peeve. Like, for example, I think what we gave Nelson a contract, and then last season he barely played after being quite clutch in our first title running, like in terms of his contribution to the team. That was surprising. He gives Smith Rowe the number.
2 contributions,
three actually, but we won't go into that. That's for another stream. So, in considering the amount of minutes he got, it's quite impressive, man. So better than Jadon Sancho that season.
No, fair.
Another stream as well. Yeah. In terms of like Smith Rowe gets the number 10 shirt and he's off like a couple of years. Like it's just his decision. Yeah, like you get rid of Smith Rowe and Vieira, and then you don't give even minutes don't give Ethan
all right,
minutes
but that's two
or
different
replace
things.
them. It's like it's just
That's
weird.
And Odegaard got injured, and you still didn't play Ethan. And
Yeah,
and then
that
you
was the
depended
weirdest one for me.
completely
Like you
on it.
basically
Like,
got rid of
yeah,
his competition just to not play him. It was just weird.
And not only that, Englishman, and then the fact that you made the mistake of getting rid of Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, and Vieira, and then not replacing them again in the next window when you already know you made that mistake and you have like time to fix it, and you still don't fix it, like, bro.
Yeah, he's got blood in his hands for missing out on us Asensio for a free for six
so
months.
You guys are blaming the manager for recruitment and squad management.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Choosing players,
but if it comes to but people who get me upset are the people who say, "Oh, well, he ran these guys to the ground." Because if you actually look at how we play and how we have been playing for the likes of the last 3 years, we don't play as high intensity as Liverpool or Tottenham, for example. We're actually the second least when it comes to intensity on the pitch. Some of these injuries are, yes, it's accumulation of games played or just freaking injuries, like Jesus' injury is a freaking injury. You can't predict that. But I don't think Mikel Arteta is solely to blame, like everyone's saying. I think more of it has to do with our recruitment and us not getting proper cover in certain areas. And when it comes to rotation, bro, when we rotate players, you see what happens. We get knocked out of cup competitions. So I don't blame the manager for not wanting to rotate in crucial Premier League games.
But why give them new contracts and give them like number 10 positions and all these things? You can't do.
But you guys are talking about mistakes that have been corrected. We've sold Eddie Nketiah.
Which mistake have we corrected? We ain't corrected shit, but we sold Nketiah. That wasn't a mistake that we created.
Guys, we still haven't replaced Aubameyang. Where's the correction for that mistake for getting rid of him for free? Come on, Igal.
The correction with Nketiah was to get someone in to replace him when he left. That would have been
the correction. Should have been selling him earlier. We're not waiting 2-3 years before we decided to sell him. That's the correction.
All right. You know what? This might be a correction, though. Seems like they're being a lot more ruthless with some of these players. All these players being listed as available to go in the summer or not being renewed loans. So you got Neto, Sterling not renewing the loans. Tomiyasu injured too often. He's going to be going. Trossard, he's going to be going.
There's nothing ruthless about getting rid of any of these players. Bro.
Exactly.
Getting rid of Partey and Trossard is ruthless.
Tavares is already gone.
That's 31 or 32, bro. And Saudi are going to pay big money for him. That's just a smart
for Trossard, yeah, I think so too. Martinelli will be the one who survives the summer.
Let's be real, right? Well, this just proves the point we've just said about why Arteta is to blame. Because look at the state of some of these players that have been bought in. Other than Partey, who I would actually keep for another year. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I would.
I would too.
There's only Trossard there that you'd look at and go, fair play. Actually, Jorginho, because that's unfair. Tierney I like, but he's never liked him. Yeah, Neto was a hilarious buy. Sterling was a joke. Tomiyasu's made of glass. Fabio Vieira, how can we leave with Fabio Vieira and not Vitinha?
Undecided because we haven't even still seen the guy, man.
Guys, let Dan finish. Guys, let Dan finish.
We're walking away with Fabio Vieira, not Vitinha. Disgrace, sackable offence. Reece Nelson, 100k a week. Now we can't sell him. Cheers. Lokonga, he needs to be gone to Seville. Yeah, Tavares is actually an obligation, so he's off to Lazio and apparently has been pretty good. Tierney, Jorginho and Partey are going to go on a free. Kivior will probably get 15 million for if we're lucky, and Zinchenko will probably get the same for. So out of all of those players, we're not going to get any money for hardly any of them. It has been poor recruitment in the last few seasons.
Free onto Brazil, done already. Flamingo.
So he's gone on a free, yeah. So and just quickly on the last thing before we move, right, on the hamstring thing. The last hamstring surgery any Arsenal player had was 2013, Lucas Podolski. Now we've got 3 in 1 year, and people are saying it ain't Mikel Arteta. Come on, man.
I mean, look, you can't all blame it on him, of course. Like there's luck and there's other aspects, but yes, of course, Dan. Like you said, Havertz literally is covers the most distance in our team as a striker, and knowing that you have
he got injured on training.
No, but then not getting a replacement to help get the load off of him, playing Saka in games like League Cup or even in the Champions League when we were already through the group stage, and we still play him.
But I don't know if you've seen an interview recently. I didn't know, because you guys remember when he's a scumbag, and if I saw him on the road, I might do him something. But you see the RVP, like those back-to-back seasons where he got 30 goals.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize apparently Fergie came in when he signed him and goes, "Look, you lot, he's not going to train every week, but he's going to win us the league, innit?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Havertz is on that level, but if you know you only have 1-9, only 1-9,
Yeah.
You make sure he's wrapped up. Don't stress him too much. Make you just be ready just before the game. Not saying Havertz was the biggest player ever, but he's the only man we have. And I guarantee we'll be more confident going into these games with Havertz than having to play a DM as our number 9. Do you get what I'm saying? So that situation don't make sense to me, man. Why do you not protect
the funniest thing for me is like we took a risk knowing our history and our luck already this season, and not even 48 hours, bro. Not even 48 hours after the window closed. Bam! Two more season-long injuries. And the season was over from that moment for me, bro. And that's why when you talk about Madrid, I'm like,
I don't think that Mikel Arteta I think he's getting too much of the blame. I think some of the stuff
he's the manager. These were all his decisions.
I think some of it is like we're talking about transfers, we're talking about signings, we're talking about not playing players 2-3 years ago. Let's be honest. The reason why
that's why we're here now,
the reason why Liverpool winning the league is not because of their third choice center back or their fifth choice attacking player. The reason why they're winning is because of their main starters being available and playing and being managed well to play throughout the rest of the season. Now, if you want to say Arteta's not done a good job managing, if you want to say Arteta's not done a good job managing the starters and not managing their minutes, fair enough. But if I'm not mistaken, majority of the best players across every league play all the Champions League games and play majority of their league games. In the cup competitions where he has rested the likes of MAGALHAES or Saka or Declan Rice or Odegaard is where we've lost or we've had horrific performances where people are starting to blame him for not managing and not playing more of the starters. So I do think some of the things that he does, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't.
But do you know what? You got one of the reasons why Arteta is getting it is because the issue with Arsenal, I've deeped it. I don't know if people agree. Our issue is we are obsessed with Manchester City. We're obsessed with them. And what I mean by that is that's what he's drilled into the players. So look how up for both of the City games we were this season, bro. We played Newcastle how many days later? We looked like a different side, bro. But we were in City's face, like pressing this one.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
No, so because we were so focused on City, we forgot there's other competition in the fucking league. Liverpool, like even with the amount of injuries we have, there's nobody that can tell me we've had enough injuries, which has led to us being 12 points worse than Liverpool. No one can.
No, we're not 12.
Yes, 12 points. 12 points behind them with a game in hand. No one can tell me, even with the injuries, we shouldn't have managed things better. And the reason why I have this chest is because from so many winning positions, we've thrown it away, especially in situations that we could have handled better. So who do we blame in those situations? Who's the one that's supposed to be managing the games, managing the players? Who do we blame? Look, I'm not the big Arteta out, Arteta, all that stuff. I'm not that guy, but you got to start putting your fingers at someone. Like at the end of the day, there's no excuse for letting Slot run up in this league and win the league, bro. That's still getting to me. Injuries or not injuries. I've seen us win leagues with freaking Alex Manninger in goal and Christopher Reyes our freaking number 9. So don't tell me that you can't manage a team, bro.
Come on,
you can't
you don't blame
all these managers. Hold on. All these managers now, they're jokers, bro. They rely on the transfer window way too much. Coach.
I agree with that. I agree with that
too.
I'm saying.
I agree with that. We won the league at Old Trafford without Henry, without Pires, without Bergkamp. We had Cunha and Wiltord, man. That was us called having a squad. Yeah, the Cunha and Wiltord did not get into our first team. They would walk into our first team right now. We've got Kai Havertz and Marino as our strikers. Come on, man. Phase 5. What is happening? Phase 5. Why has this guy not bought a striker in 5 years?
To be fair, Mikel Moreno should not be working for this long at all.
No,
it's actually
he's done well though. He's done well though. And you know what? He's actually been as effective as Kai Havertz, which proves how rubbish he is. Crikey.
You know what? It also proves,
Dan, it does.
It also
you put up there.
It also proves the tactical is wrong. Because every time we're linked to a striker, tacticals are like, this guy's not perfect for our system. If Mikel Moreno can play up top and score that many goals for us over 6 games, best believe Viktor Gyökeres comes in, he improves that tenfold.
Well, let's hope we get him, man.
Let's talk about Viktor Gyökeres now, because I'm kind of. I'll start with you, African Gunnar, because you wanted to talk on this one.
I've been pushing for this guy for like 2 years now, 3 years. Even in January, when we made a bid for Watkins, I was like, bro, take that money and slap it down for Gyokeres, because it's so easy. It's so obvious what type of player we need. We need an Osimhen, Vlahovic type player, like a Watkins, a powerful person that's going to come in. Because for all these crosses that we supposedly keep going for, because that's our only tactic, go left or right, and then cross it in the middle for someone to smack it with their head. And Havertz isn't that guy. Or we need someone who can just create out of nothing and finish and be clinical. Because Kai, one-on-one, you just don't think he's going to finish it probably 3 out of 4 times. He finishes maybe 1 out of 4 times. We need someone who can finish 3 out of 4 times. And Gyokeres is that guy. I mean, a lot of people say, look, he's not good enough. He hasn't done it in the Prem, blah, 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 blah. It's in Portugal. This guy's been doing it in the Champions League, man. And that's the benchmark. If you can do it in the Champions League, you can do it in the Prem for me. So, look, a no-brainer for 50 million.
The naysayers, Alex, I don't know if you guys know Alex from the Different Knock. He basically is like one of the biggest naysayers of Viktor Gyökeres, and his take is that the Portuguese league have produced many top goal scorers over the last 20 years, and none of them have been at the top of any major leagues. That you go when you take that same player, throw them in La Liga, they're average player. You throw them in any other league like the French league, they're average player. What makes us think Viktor Gyökeres coming over from the Portuguese league is going to have the same level of impact at Arsenal?
Because he's already played in the Championship. He's already played like in the physical league, and he's a physical player. It's not like he's a Fabio Vieira coming from the Portuguese league and he's not ready to like battle it out with Premier League defenders. Like, we're talking about someone who's 27, who's already reaching probably into his prime era, and we've seen what he could do to Gabriel and Saliba on his own. And not only that, we just saw another video just like a few days ago of him carrying the ball and smacking the post again, similar to what he did against us. So if he can do that by himself, imagine how dangerous he could be for us. Because then you have Martinelli and Saka. This guy can carry the ball all the way there and open up space, and we just have so much more attacking freedom with this guy because he can just do it on his own. He can create something. He's dangerous. As soon as you get the ball, everyone's like, shit, we better drop off.
You seem impressed. You seem impressed.
For sure, bro. We've been missing a striker for freaking 3 years. Of course I'm going to be impressed. Even if you give me Sesko, I'm going to be this excited. That's how deprived we've been of a striker at this club, that now we're just like anything that we can sniff. Even in January, Marcus Rashford. Oh yeah, I'll take Rashford. But that's how desperate we've been.
I remember the same panel would probably, all of you guys would have said no to Rashford at the
No, I said yes. I told you guys I would take anybody. We could have taken anybody to do anything. We were in 4 competitions and we effed it all up.
I would have taken Kvaratskhelia and Marmoush, both 100%. Of them.
Would you have taken Rashford?
No, 100%.
I wouldn't have. I get why Africa Guna would, but I wouldn't have. Asensio I would, but not Rashford.
I know for a fact Cunha is saying hell no to Rashford.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
Asensio
I would have taken. Brother, I would have taken Kolo Muani for free for 6 months. Yeah, it's better than having to deal with Marino, yeah. But hey, African Guna, hey, Gyökeres didn't do a damn thing against Saliba and Gabriel. Let's keep it a buck, man. He waited until one of them gets subbed off, and then Kivio was playing in the defense. Then he had a little sniff.
You know what, though, Conley? You know what he did? Go on. Now finish your point, and I'll tell you. Go on.
But what I will say is, like, one thing, like, a lot of people have been harsh on Arteta, but one thing that he has been able to show is no matter who plays through the middle, we're going to create chances and someone is going to score. And none of those people that we've used have been out and out nines, but we're still scoring goals. Exactly. So nobody can tell me that we can do any worse if we get someone that their goal is to be a 9, getting goals. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we can't not improve. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I definitely don't want Sesko, but we'll definitely score more goals as a 9 if Sesko's there. But that's not the guy I want. I might as well go all in.
No more projects. Get me win now players.
Yeah,
get me players who are ready to make a difference. If they're outside of the Premier League, they better have the experience or thing. And I've been saying this for a while now, even on Dan's channel, on everywhere. I think people mistaken me because I'm defending points where I think it's illogical, but I still obviously want to improve the team. There's still places where we can improve the team. And the left wing is another place. But are you guys worried Chelsea could take a player from us in Nico Williams on a real?
No. Absolutely not. The only team that's going to take him from us is Barcelona because he wants to go there and he wants to maybe stay in Spain. That's really the only team I think can really steal him from us. We've been looking at him for like a year now. Arteta's really wanted him. It's all about the wages. He wants over 250K. We've convinced him. He's convinced. So now it just depends on if he wants to stay in La Liga or if not. I see it happening, to be quite honest.
So you guys at no point say to yourself nowadays, if Chelsea come in for a player,
just for money, that's it. If you want to compete and as an athlete, you're not looking at Chelsea, bro. I'm sorry, or Man U, or yeah.
I'll be honest, and it might sound weird if they're from South America or Africa.
Sure.
You never know it.
Yeah,
never know it because they have different. There's loads of different things involved in that decision that they're gonna make. But I don't in this particular situation. If we both
Chelsea
go for Nico Williams, if we both go for Nico Williams, we're getting it, bro.
And they have like 10 wingers, man. Why do they keep going for?
Yeah, but one of their wingers is catching a case, and the other one's gone.
They still have more than enough to cover 4 players there.
Hey, I thought Pedro Neto would do better than he's doing, but if anything, I think players should be looking at. You know how players looked at Pepe's situation at Arsenal and they said, I don't know if I want to come to Arsenal when we were in that situation. I think players should look at Chelsea right now and be like, yo, I don't know if I want to go to Chelsea, especially if they don't get Champions League football this season.
Attackers don't really do well there, bro. Like other than Palmer, there's not really over the last like 5-6 years, attackers don't really do well at Chelsea, bro. And they're a mess.
The question is, Dan, what are you saying? Do you want him? You don't see him.
He's not my number one. Gyokeres is my number one right now because Isak's not obtainable. So for me, Gyokeres is number one.
But your winger choice, Dan, is your number one winger choice?
Not Williams, no.
On that side, on that side.
Yeah, on that
wing,
side.
Who's your first choice?
Mine is actually Ademola Lookman. I'm a big fan of him.
I'm with that.
I think he's doing it now. I think his stats are better than Nico. I think Nico Williams has had a worse season than Martinelli. So yeah, I'm kind of a fan of him. I think he lit up the Euros, but for me, Gyokeres and Lookman would excite me more. And I actually think a creative midfielder. We're linked with Eze and Cunha today. Again, we're going to be linked with everybody now, but obviously they're the two sort of options that I would 100% take. We're not going to go and get a Musiala or a Florian Wirtz. I don't think. I think Man City will probably get Wirtz. So for me, I feel like it could be a really good opportunity for us to look at something there. But they're the 3 positions we need to be looking at getting. I don't want to be looking at opening, the window and then we've got another goalkeeper and a left back coming in and another, because that will happen. Like we are probably going to need those positions, but I don't want them as a priority, So that's what I'll be looking at for me.
So apparently,
I'm not going to lie to you. If we're getting rid of all the players we're getting rid of, we could get Nico Williams and Eze. But I don't think we're going to get Lookman because Lookman is – I don't know if Lookman is the type of prototype of what Arteta wants. Lookman's not a touchline winger. He's more of an inside forward, in my opinion.
I like Lookman.
Yeah, but it creates variety. Yeah,
but he's also going to be like so many clubs interested because of his price range, and obviously he said everyone knows he's leaving this summer, right? So I don't see it, and we haven't been linked yet. I'm sure we will be linked soon enough. Don't you worry.
Yeah, Links FC is coming, bro. Don't worry. Wait till May.
I didn't see the Eze one, and I think we would have already gone for Eze before. Like we would have gone for Olise, etc. And sorry, my point was about Musiala. We were interested in Musiala, but he signed a new contract, so that's not happening. And who's
going to be the 10?
No, it's gonna be Odegaard, bro.
We can't afford Gibbs White now that he's going to be in the championship.
I think it will be Cunha or Eze are genuine, realistic targets for us. I would say as a 10. Yeah.
Why are you hopeful that we're even getting a creative midfielder? We're not gonna get a creative. We already know we're getting Zubimendi. We already know we're getting a winger. We already know we're getting a striker. We already know we're getting a backup keeper. The only one is Nipan that we know we maybe might get that guy for 15 or 20 million, but we're not gonna go get another creative midfielder. It's not happening.
I agree with that because I don't think Arteta is ready to hang
we need to either get cover for Saka or use Ethan.
We got cover for Saka.
Let me finish. Let me finish because I'm going to answer some of your questions when you come in. We either got to go and get cover for Saka or use Ethan, or we've got to get a creative midfielder and use Ethan as the right. That's what we've got to do. If we're not going to get a creative midfielder, it will be Ethan, and we've got to go and get cover for Saka. We can't just do nothing in both those positions. It's criminal.
If you get Nico Williams, he's cover for both sides, so you're good. Like you don't need to go get more cover for Saka. If you have Nwaneri, you have him, and then depends.
But then that means we've got we've only got 3 wingers again. We need 4 wingers, right?
No, because you have Martinelli.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Martinelli, Williams, Saka. Who else?
Ethan.
Manieri. No, wait, hold on.
Okay.
You guys are pretending that you don't know your club. You don't know your club. You know what we're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do, Dan. We're gonna recall Fabio Vieira, bro. That's gonna be our backup.
No, Fabio Vieira is
know your club, bro. You know your club. Bro.
No, but guys, I think Arsenal's 6 attacking options next season, in my opinion, are gonna be Gyokeres, Havertz, Saka, Ethan, Martinelli, and one more left winger. And if that
wait, what are you guys are forgetting? Jesus coming back.
No. Jesus,
the other option,
bro. Understand, Jesus is gonna be out until December, and when he's back, they're gonna be wrapping.
You know your club and how stingy we are. We're gonna take that risk and wait for him to come back. We're not gonna go spend 20-30 mil to get a replacement.
No. Jesus is not kicking another ball for Arsenal. We're gonna pull an El Neni with him. He's gonna be out the door.
I don't think Jesus is leaving for next season.
Did El Neni play in January? Up until January?
No.
I actually agree with African Gunner. I think we're stuck with Jesus and Tommy Aston. We want them gone, but they're not going to go because no one wants them. So I think they just run out of contract.
And they've been good professionals.
Yeah, and we're gonna give Jesus another extension of like 6 months so he can find a position elsewhere in January next year.
Who told you this?
In theory,
because that's what we do. That's what we do. When a player's injured, when a player's injured and their contract's up, we always give them a little bit of an extension so they can use the facilities, get themselves going, and then leave.
I think they're both going on a free. They'll both go on a free in 26. Both.
I think Jesus is more valuable than going on a free.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll give him one more season.
Hopefully, we'll try and give him get rid of him in Saudi in January. That's what I hope we do, but I don't think we will.
No, I don't think Saudi's even going to come.
I don't think we're going to give him a contract extension.
If we give him a contract extension at 265 a week, Jesus.
I think he goes back to Brazil. He has to go to like a lower level now. It's finished for him. I think it's finished for him. Maybe he will try. He has to go for like an
awful signing, isn't he? Flop of a signing. He's been.
He started off really well.
He was good. He was good when he signed. It's just
he's been worse than Lacazette, man. Lacazette was as much. He's been worse than Lacazette.
You only say that, Dan, because you have more sample size with Lacazette and like
because he was an injury prone like this guy.
When Jesus plays, he's clear of Lacazette.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he is, but he doesn't play.
What he offers you all over the pitch. The guy, 2020,
saying Ledley King was better than Dawson. Yeah, he was, but he never played, so you can't put him in the pitch. You know.
No, but we're talking about the talent. We're talking about the ability. For example, I'm not going to sit here and tell you El Neni's a better player than Abu Diaby because he was more available.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a great example. That is my example. He's been a flop because he's been injured. He's not a flop because he's a crap player. Jesus is great, but he's never about, man. We just got to move on from him and just let him go. We've got to upgrade on him. My problem is the wages because him and Havertz are on ridiculous money. They're on $500,000.
If Arsenal do something crazy, it would be to go and get a quality midfielder that can cover the Partey and Jorginho position, and also get another quality midfielder.
Yeah, we need to.
They can cover Odegaard.
Yeah,
and the 8 position.
Yeah, because the 8 position we still haven't upgraded on Xhaka. We're still waiting for that signing too, to be honest. So that's the one that we were talking about right now about the creative person, which I don't think we'll address this summer because we're just
all right. Let's end it up here because Dan's gonna have to go. But before we go, quick predictions for the Everton game. Score predictions, guys. What are you guys saying? If we play a reasonable lineup and none of this,
I'll be optimistic, man. I'll go 1-0 to the Arsenal. We stink our way to 3 points. I'll say that.
There you go. 1-0 to the Arsenal, stinking our way. What about you, Cunha? What are you saying?
Yes, it's definitely going to be another stinky, but 2-1 Arsenal, man. 2-1.
And in case I don't get to speak to you guys before Real Madrid, what are you guys saying for your predictions for the Real Madrid at home?
I'm giving 2-1 for Everton, by the way. Yeah, as well.
Oh shit! I didn't catch you there.
Yeah,
2-1 Everton. I'm actually gonna go with Arsenal. Arsenal's what? I'm gonna go Arsenal 1-0 versus Everton. We're gonna win 1-0. It's gonna be one of those stinky games where we need a late goal to win it. It's gonna be.
I was gonna say clean sheet, but then I remember that Gabriel's out. So
hey, we're gonna keep a clean sheet. Everton can't score goals for it.
Yeah, when a team can't score goals for 6-7 months, we're the team that they score against.
Everton is one thing, but Real Madrid at home, I got a feeling we're gonna get a clean sheet and get a sneaker win versus Real Madrid. Call me crazy, I don't think Real Madrid have been as good as everyone says they are, and I know we're going up against Champions League royalty and everything, but they're coming to our ground. We play quite well at our ground. We don't drop too many. We don't lose too many games at our ground, and even in the Champions League versus Real Madrid, a tough opponent, I don't see us getting battered the way people say. With Gabriel Magalhães or without Gabriel Magalhães, it's going to be a close game. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Arsenal victory versus Real Madrid at the Emirates.
I'll go for a 2-1 loss at the Emirates. I think I went 1-1, but Gabriel's out now. I don't see how we win this game or draw this game. So I think 2-1. And then at Bernabeu, pray that it isn't 7 or 8.
Nah,
yeah,
we're gonna play very defensive. Don't forget, 45 minutes, Man City couldn't break down.
Look, so
that's what I'll go, Bob. But yeah,
I'm doing a lot of prayers, night vigil. Gonna do a lot of praise and worship every morning between now and the Madrid game. Hopefully, our Lord God Savior is going to bless us with a 2-1 victory for Arsenal at the Emirates. I'm not ready to discuss the Bernabeu situation yet, but we'll revisit that.
All right. What about you, African Gunnar? What are you saying?
Yeah, it's a 2-1 loss for me. I think we'll score the goal. We'll be like all excited that we actually scored. We took the lead, and then they'll just come back and smack us to humble us and remind us that it's Madrid, it's Champions League, and yeah.
There you
go.
Wait,
Potts, is this the energy you brought into the last time at the Bernabeu? Is this the energy? Considering how many injuries we had,
so different, man. So different.
Why? No, it kind of wasn't. I think there was a lot of. Nobody expected anything of us, bro, because we had Thierry, of course. I get you.
Well, we had an invincible squad and an Arsene Wenger as the manager. That's why we can't get across the line in massive statement games against Man United on the FA Cup and Newcastle. So how are we going to do it against Madrid, bro? That's all I'm saying.
Pretend that they're Man City, then we'll be all right,
Lisbon. I've seen us go out to Olympiacos, Villarreal, Sporting Lisbon in the Europa League. This one's going to be peak, man.
I want to say to Englishmen, like, I totally agree, man. Like, we have to go in. We have nothing to lose. But I'd rather come from my perspective than yours, because I'm like protecting myself right now. You see, like, you're not protecting yourself. And that's why when we started this podcast and I saw how you were, I was like, dude, this is amazing. I love that you're like.
Dan's gonna have to go. Dan's gonna have to go, so I'm gonna bid you adieu. I think we're gonna have a little bit more of a conversation with the rest of the boys for a bit. So Dan, guys, go check out Dan's channel, 12-Man Podcast, doing big things. And I was on there on Tuesday. Probably be on there next week. No, not next week. We'll take a break next week, maybe a week after. But I'll catch you next time, bro.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me, man. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Big up, boys. Later.
Peace out, bro. Guys, there's one more thing that we need to talk about. Everyone's always talking about the manager. We didn't really spend too much time to talk about Arteta, really. We spoke about things. What's your stance? What's your situation with Arteta, Cunha? Because you have like a weird thing with Arteta. You're 1 second you're Arteta out. Next second you're like, you know what? He's proving me wrong. Then now you're like,
nah, bro. I've been consistent. I've not been Arteta out for a while, man. The last time I was Arteta out was the Villarreal game. I've been consistently Arteta in since then. But what I have said is, if he loses the league to Slot, I want him out, man, because you can't come in first season and knock you off the perch like that, man. So I don't respect that at all. I respect everything he's done for us, and I don't get me wrong, I don't disregard any of the shit he's done, because he's done bits, and no one should deny that. He's brought a fan base together. The Emirates is louder than it's ever been since we moved there. Like
not this season, but
not this season, but in general, and also he's the man that got me to like enjoy my team playing football again. Like, actually, the feeling of joy watching Arsenal came back through Arteta's period. But I think maybe it's time to give someone else a go. But I'm not the toxic one that's going to be like, oh, fuck Arteta out. Like, I know we're not getting rid of him, so I'm open to get behind him. But he really needs a big summer this window to help him, because he surely can't keep failing at the final hurdle and just keep getting another chance. So that's where I'm at with it, man.
I share a lot of sentiments with you, man. Like I have this battle with myself a lot, you know, going back and forth and like thinking strategically and trying to think less emotionally as well, knowing that like, whatever the fans and whatever we think, at the end of the day, he's not leaving at the end of this season. Currently, the way the things are, it's not happening. He's not going anywhere. So like, there was no point of me yelling and shouting, saying like, oh, Arteta out, even if I agree that he's made mistakes. And I think that this was supposed to be the last season, and we're pushing we're pushing the line, we're moving the benchmark again, or we're moving the post, and we're saying we're giving him one more season when this was supposed to be the season, right? So the thing is, I think that with all the injuries, we're making a lot of excuses for him, and it's good in a way, because I agree. Like, it doesn't make sense if I think about it logically to restart now when we've already done all this work. We're so close. And as you said, Arteta has done so many great things. And, he's made a lot of small mistakes, which have built up and culminated into the mess. A little bit of, I think mess is a bit unfair to say, but as us Arsenal fans speaking, we know like the things that are wrong at the club and the small fixes that we need to make to actually cross that line. So for me, it's really about like this summer transfer window has to be the last transfer window that he gets for me. And I have to see in the first 2-3 weeks, we have to sign someone. Like it can't be this wishy-washy like we usually do during the transfer window, waiting, market opportunity, we're interested, but no, like what we're seeing right now is really great. We're already advanced with Zubimendi. We're already advanced with Nico Williams. I hope and pray that all of these come into fruition, because right now it's
we lost him.
Yeah, man.
He was just in the zone. So
Liverpool fans messed up your connection.
It blacked out for a second. I thought we got disconnected. For me, it's just it's a no-brainer that he's not going to go anywhere, and we need to get the striker. And this has to be the last chance they got. Last chance. You get the striker. You get all the 2-3 players, the last 2-3 pieces that you need, and we have to go for it. And if you don't win it at the end of the season, we don't win anything. Even if we win the FA Cup and League Cup, like I said that we did this season, it wasn't going to be enough. It's also not going to be enough next season. He has to win the league.
I think it's getting to a point where it's becoming untenable. If we cannot get over the line with the amount of quality we currently have, we can't get over the line due to the injuries this season. Next season, if we add attacking talent and we don't get over the line, at that point, it's going to become clear and obvious that the one dynamic that has to now be changed is the manager.
But it's clear and obvious now already. That's the point.
Like, no, I don't think it is. I think the attack. I think we're attack away from being as competitive.
Yeah, but that's what we said at the beginning of this season. So that's my frustration.
I'm still frustrated that they didn't go and sign.
Bro, he chose to go get Calafiori as his first signing. I don't care what anybody says, man. You're the manager. You're deciding who you're gonna get, and you're telling me you're gonna spend 40 million on a left back when we had 6, and we knew we needed an attacker.
An injury-prone one, by the way.
I know, bro. You see what I mean? Like, all of this is common sense, right? And then the other perspective is like, but bro, Arteta loves Arsenal and he wants to win. Why wouldn't he do it? It's so obvious. Like, why wouldn't he do it? And I don't have an answer for that. But based off his actions, we've had more than 4 or 5 windows and he hasn't done it. So, like, I don't know. This is the fight I have between myself. It's like, yeah.
Would you lose your mind if we go and we don't sign Viktor Gyökeres first and we sign a midfielder, we sign a left wing?
Sure, that's fine. As long as it's not the goalkeeper or the defender first, that's fine. Those have to be the last ones. It has to be the striker first, or the winger, or Zubimendi, because we already know it's done. If that's the first one, we're like, oh yeah, okay.
Wait. I don't know if you've seen Comedy Central or Default Central, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I saw this already.
They reported that Martin.
You should know by now that this account just shares anything that like moves. You know that, right?
They're the new fachachas.
No, like this Transfer News Live, they will share any article that comes out, even if it's the most nonsensical article, they'll share it. And we already knew, we saw 2-3 weeks ago that all the Spanish reports or Spanish newspapers are linking him with Madrid because he's Spanish, and that's just how Spanish papers work. But David Ornstein and a lot of other Sky Sports, Darmesh, a lot of people have said that Arsenal really advanced. So I don't take this for anything, to be honest. I mean, come on, we see this every day. We know Transfer News. We've been seeing the last 3-4 weeks how all the stories have come out about him. Then those stories came out about how, Madrid are going to try and snatch him. And then David Ornstein and everyone said, no, Arsenal's really advanced. So, like,
I'm not going to lie. Like, social media has made me hate transfer windows, bro. Literally, because
you just got to know
the
what
way
to believe.
Yeah, because the way, not even just that, the way they manipulate our fan base is actually scary. How much we get triggered every little link. We jump on everything because they know if they link Arsenal with a player, they know there's going to be videos all over the internet with this guy's name. There's going to be traction, clicks, and here and there, and we buy it all the time, bro. Like Links FC, I'm not in the mood for Links FC again this summer, but I know it's coming. But yeah, just get me I think I need 4 players this summer minimum for me to be.
So I was having this conversation with someone, and he was like, "I don't think we're going to spend 200 million." And I was like, "What are you talking about? We have to spend 200 million. There's no way around it. Like 50 million on a winger, 50 million on Zubimendi.
I'm saying 250 even African Goonie.
Yeah, before outgoings. Yeah, I agree. Like, look, and then the fact that if you don't think that we're going to spend 200 million this summer, then what are you doing right now? Because like, what are you waiting for? Like, nothing is going to change.
I'm hoping that was the conversation in January. Look, Mikel, bro, we've given you help. We're gonna go. We ain't got a director of football. We're gonna wait till he comes in so we can have a proper big vamp in summer, and that's gonna be your last chance to go all in at it, bro.
But you know what my thinking is, bro? My thinking is, why, as a coach or the owner, why would you agree to that when you have 4 competitions left? Like, and the fact that you've gone back to back, and they knew the pressure that was on that window, they knew the pressure that was on the season, and to still go and make those decisions, that is my frustration. And it goes back to the owners, because even let's say the manager says, okay, fine. Like, as the owner, you should be the one who's ambitious and say, I don't care what the manager says. You need to go sign someone, right? There's a problem,
bro. I hear it, man. But you know our club, we're quite backwards, man.
I know, and that's the that's the heartbreaking part. Is like they've taken us so close that now we know we can taste it, and you still can't get us there. It's like
just putting us on the string.
By the way, though, do you guys look around at other clubs and be like, yo, they might be in their own situations also?
No, not really. They're all so bad and so much worse than us.
Because I'm looking at Liverpool, I'm looking at Chelsea, I'm looking at Man United, I'm looking at Man City, and I'm seeing teams that are just a little bit as much of unknown as we are.
We're not unknown. Why would you say we are very known? That's why we can't break teams down, because everybody knows how we play now.
No, what I say is
talking about next season, unknown.
I'm talking about next season.
No, nah, man. Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, same teams, and Chelsea maybe better.
1 second. Liverpool next season could potentially not have one of Van Dijk or Salah if Trent's also.
You know what?
New contract extension already agreed.
Hold on, you know what?
When did that happen?
I saw that yesterday.
It's not been confirmed.
Salah agreed.
Like
I saw something yesterday about Salah agreeing.
I saw something, but it's not been confirmed. I hear it. But look, my thing is this, yeah. My thing is this. You got, bro. Like
Salah agreed.
Like maybe
Igal, I think the one thing that's annoying me about some of your recent streams is that you've been very focused on what the other teams are doing. I don't want to have to care about that.
Yeah,
I want a squad that no matter what the other teams do, are ready to bad them up, because that's the only way we're gonna really go to that next level. I don't want Liverpool to lose all their stars, and that's the reason why people will say I want them to stay. And then Arteta's good enough to get it done there. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be crying if Salah leaves. Or hell no, of course not. But I'm not going to be relying on what the others are doing for me to get this league title, especially after if what's been said, reported to back this guy again in summer is going to happen. You got to get it done, bro. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. We need to be united if he can't get it done this time, man, because this is crazy. Like, he has to get it done this next year.
No, yeah, totally agree.
Regardless of who stays or who goes from other teams.
Only reason why I'm saying KDB is leaving Man City, they're gonna have to replace him.
He left last season. KDB left last
summer. Injured
bro.
most of the season.
Left last summer, bro. He left last summer, man.
He's technically still there.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He left like
they've moved on from him. They moved on from a lot of players. Man City will still be there. Liverpool will still be there. Chelsea might get a bit better. Man U will be better than they were this season because they were so bad this season. I don't think they can get worse, to be honest. I mean, if they do, it's just hilarious. And Spurs are Spurs. I only focus on Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and maybe Nottingham Forest because they had a really good season. Next season, they'll be a tough opponent as well. But other than that,
so do you think Arsenal next season could easily not be in the title race?
No, I think we will be in the title race.
There's no reason for it. There's no reason to think of it that way.
If you think that, then we may as well sack the coach now, bro.
Because you know what it is? As shit as we are, we're still the second best team in the league, isn't it? Which is the funny part about as shit as people keep saying we are, you're this, you're that. They're still shitter than us.
Exactly.
which is mad.
I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand how clubs below us speak about us. And some of them are trolls on Twitter, like United Trey and stuff, which they're just forming impressions. But
I've realized it now. It's just cool to troll Arsenal.
Yeah,
like, it's just cool. It's like,
okay. How about this? If Manchester City go and get Florian Wirtz and they go and get Camavinga, are you then going to be like, yo, they could beat us to the league again?
Bro, I think they could beat us to the league now because we've not won it. So there's no reason for me to think anyone can't beat us to the league next season because we're not winning these title races that we're in. Do you get what I'm saying? But with that being said, we need to make sure we're prepared by plugging those holes because I believe if we plug those holes that we've been talking about on this stream, we're a match for anyone. That's what I want. Not relying on what else the rest do. I want them to get Camavinga and Wirtz and be like, and what? What do you mean? What do you mean? We got freaking Gyokeres, Williams, and Zubimendi, and we're negotiating with Sane on a free just for shits and giggles. You get me?
Like, so that's if we got every single one of those players that you said and they went down like that, it would be such a good window.
Bro, that's it, man.
So what's the perfect window for you for Arsenal?
That was mine just then. Like, I prefer Osimhen to Gyokeres, but I think he's a Chelsea fan, so he's probably going to go.
Not only that, his personality clash. We know that like Arteta cannot manage a player like that. We know.
Yeah,
I think that's bullshit.
No, come on, man.
I believe he's the perfect like live wire for a squad like this. So personality is the perfect live wire for this squad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he should be an obvious option, but I think we would have already gone for him before he went to Turkey. And I think based on Aubameyang and based on every single player, Guendouzi, any problematic player you see at the club, they're out, gone like that. So I think
he's not problematic, really.
He can be. He fought with the Nigerian coach. You know, he cares a lot about social media and flashiness. Like, we know it's not a bad thing, but in Arteta's world, it's a bad thing.
A bit, but I hear you. I hear what
you're saying. It's just not the style. It just doesn't feel like.
What if Liverpool go and get Isak?
Nah, he's gonna stay at Newcastle, bro. This is all talk. He's not going nowhere.
Like, if Liverpool get Isak, that's and they lose Salah though.
Nah, it's not happening.
Not the same shit, to be fair.
Okay, do you guys think Isak's leaving?
No. I only think that he might leave if they don't get Champions League. But I hope they do get Champions League because
I think even if they don't get Champions League, they'll force him to stay one season and then say, okay, you can leave after that season.
He'll go. I just want.
Do you think Chelsea can be more consistent than Newcastle?
No,
he's not going Chelsea. He's going either Liverpool or Arsenal, bro. He's not going.
No, I'm saying, will Chelsea beat them to top 4, top 5?
No.
With what I saw yesterday, I'm still standing by Chelsea not qualifying for the Champions League. But the fact that it's top 5 makes it a little bit problematic. Chelsea are definitely not finishing in the top 4.
Nottingham Forest are definitely in Champions League next year.
Yeah, there's an outside chance they get into the top 5, Chelsea, but they definitely ain't finishing top 4.
You know what's crazy we don't talk about? Nottingham Forest getting top 5 is nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. And I don't think that, honestly, Newcastle will lose either of them, Guimarães or Isak. I don't think either of them are going to lose.
If they don't get Champions League, one of them goes, bro.
Guys, if they don't get Champions League, one will go. But
teams remaining in the Premier League, Liverpool are 4 wins away from securing the league title.
Bro, give up.
What does that mean? Oh, you're still.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. Is there a possibility we play them on the 3rd last game of the season? Is there any possibility we could drag this out?
Even if they lose the next 3 games and we win the next 3 games, I'm still not confident we can push.
Agree.
No, I'm not saying
that's not happening. So.
I'm not saying we're going to win it.
Saying,
is there a possibility that on game week, what do you call
Don't do it to yourself. Why are you even thinking?
I don't understand.
Why would you even?
No. Hear me out. Is there a possibility?
Is my answer.
Come game week 36 when we play them at the Emirates, that at their ground, that the league still has not been decided.
Dude, Egal, you know that we were gonna draw or lose games previous to that game and win that game.
No, wait. African Guna, he asked an interesting question. The league will not be decided. That's an interesting question. But what's the third? Is it the? Yeah, I don't know why you're asking it, but if that's the question you're asking, there's a chance that it might not be over, even though it's inevitable where it's going. But
it's very likely that we actually win that game, but drop points.
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Yeah. I think we win that game, regardless. I think we win that game just to piss me off even more. I think we win that game, and I'm just gonna get annoyed. Our first win at Anfield for a bit meant nothing.
And perfect window is
literally. I can just see it, bro.
You're trying to make me cry.
Left center mid, Backup goalkeeper and a defender. So 5. 3 transfer windows, 5 players.
All right. You know what? We're going to wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'm going to be live once again later today at 6 o'clock. We got a lot to talk about. In case you guys don't know, Tottenham fans are pissed at Ange Postecoglou because he cupped his ear after an offside goal. Was it offside or disallowed? What was it disallowed for again?
Offside.
They're disallowed for a foul on
disallowed.
Yeah, disallowed.
Yeah, I thought it was disallowed.
Caicedo, yeah.
Yeah. And so he cupped his ear. They want him sacked. Manchester United, not really any news about United at this point. They just,
to be honest, it's the same thing Xhaka did, huh? So I'm glad it's the same type of reaction, whether it's a manager or a player. Like, it's the same reaction.
You see, Xhaka got it. To argue. Xhaka's fighting with his fans over Liverpool.
Yeah, of course. What do you expect, bro? That's such a Xhaka thing to do. Just fucking go beef with your fans for like. Well, I don't even know what happened. I don't know the context.
He's basically calling them ungrateful for cussing the team after getting knocked out of the cup.
Yeah, after they went invincible last season, right? Dude, Xhaka makes me laugh, man. Like, it's actually crazy. One of my most hated players, and like, he actually makes his team better.
Right, Eagle's perfect summer is Salah and Van Dijk goes to Saudi, and then 100%.
Dude, Salah's not going anywhere, man.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourself a wonderful day. Catch you guys in the next video at 6 o'clock, and go to Judge Mo's channel right now and be like, Arsenal's gonna beat Inter in the Champions League final. Anyways, peace out.
Peace.
Big up.